Hello, hi, welcome back everyone. Um, Today we'll be looking at a very interesting business. I was reading an article in Barron's and I noticed that Bill Gates owns waste management company in America, and he has been holding that stock since 2015 and owns close to 8% of waste management in America, and got me really intrigued as to why he's so curious about it without the share gain in waste management not being that high. And I decided to look a little deeper into what the Indian space has and what are some of the businesses that are listed on the exchange which does waste management activity. And I did come across Antony Waste Handling Cell. um, in India, 80% of the waste currently is untreated. Um, Also, waste management as a business, when we compare globally to India, India is at a very nascent stage, and but it is growing very rapidly. Antony Waste Management has been involved in the business since 2001, and it's one of the strong top five players in the Indian municipality waste management industry with a track record of over 20 years. When Antony Waste initially started, at that time, what used to happen was there was tendering process, and within the tendering process, there are two criterias usually. One is the financial wherewithal of the company, and the second is the technical ability of the company. But when Antony Waste was there earlier, at that point in time, technical wherewithal was not a main criteria. The main criteria was financial viability. Why does this tendering process become really important to look at, and why is it really important that you get strong players onto handling waste for you? Is just imagine you're handling the waste for an entire municipality. Usually these projects have an average duration of 7 years. So you cannot come in and say that we do not have the financial backing now, and we will not be able to take care of the waste. That will create chaos in the city. Antony Waste in total is present in currently 9 cities and has 26 projects ongoing, and it manages 90% of Mumbai's waste. It recently won a project in Nasik, and it is also handling waste for multiple cities and municipalities across India. Mumbai, Navi Mumbai being a major one, then Delhi, NCR. Also, there are multiple projects and sites that are present. It's also present in some of the smaller cities. It's present in Jhansi, Nasik, and the primary business and the management, their thinking is that how they look at it is that it is easier to make a cluster. So if we have a concentration of geography, it'll be easier for the company to operate because there are multiple transportation units that are required. We see the green dumpers and the tippers and mechanized sweeping machines. So a lot of machinery and inventory is required. So, and that reflects in the debt to equity ratio. So currently, which is at 70%, 0.7 times. Sorry, apologies. So in a way, the company has debt on its book, and currently, if you look at it, it has close to 500 crore of debt, whereas the market capitalization of the company stands at around 1436. So that is something which needs to be looked at closely. But the business as a whole, because there is a criteria of technical ability and financial backing, it places it in a very sweet spot. There is this barrier to entry in the business. I was going through some of the podcasts of Monish Babra, and he did mention about the funeral business in America and how a young, bright kid who's right out of Wharton or one of the big business colleges in Harvard, he would not be interested in entering into a funeral business. Ask your friends around, how many of them would be interested into entering a funeral business? Similar is the case with a waste handling business, and it's not an easy business to start with. But once you have the whole within the waste management business, then it kind of becomes sweeter and sweeter as we go along. And I'll tell you how. Antony Waste initially was involved in door-to-door collection of waste and segregation of the waste, and then using that waste to create products at a higher level. For example, it uses the waste to create something like a refuse-derived fuel, and it sold a huge amount of these refuse-derived fuel to cement companies, which is used for then processing of cement. So we are looking at an end-to-end business where you're not only collecting waste, and waste, by the way, is increasing at a rapid pace. Urbanization is increasing at a rapid pace in India. We have clearly seen the allocation of Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, and it is increasing at 11% CAGR. So not only urbanization is happening, a lot of people moving to the cities, but the waste generation is also increasing at a rapid pace. And we have different types of problems in waste management. So Antony Waste is also had also done an analysis as to what are the different kinds of value adds that it could do to the business, and then it began entering into which would be the most viable. And it came across that in the future they're also looking at the car scrapping business where it would like to enter. So kind of really interesting, because within Delhi we have this rule of scrapping the vehicle once it crosses a certain threshold of number of years. So these kind of companies become really important in being able to handle that amount of waste.